Okay, for Warlock, the quest is Licari Sacrifice. Quest: discard 6 cards, reward Nether Portal. Nether Portal is a 5 mana spell. Open a permanent portal that summons 3/2 imps. So we saw that this card summons 2 imps every turn, but you have to discard a lot of cards, just 6, but it is a lot for a Warlock, so you could get this powerful Nether Portal. Is it worth discarding those many cards? Is it worth playing discolock? Or is it worth to play a control Warlock deck? Because you have to tap a lot. It's very difficult to discard those cards, and depending on what cards are discarded, you will lose a lot of potential for gaining board control. But the portal gives you the advantage you need after you lost 6 cards. And the first minion that gives you a very good discard is Licari Fellhound. A 4 mana 3/8, discard 2 random cards, and it is a taunt. So this card stops aggro, but you lose 2 cards from your hand. If those 2 cards are silverware golems, it's a very good value. But if you lose cards that you really need in that matchup, could you survive with this 3/8 taunt? Because a lot of aggro decks tend to deal a lot of damage, and 8 health, will it be enough? Or the better question, would you play this and Doomguard in the same deck? Would you? Because both discard 2 cards, but this is a taunt and the other has charge, and it's and has 5 attack and 7 health. Sorry, it's very hard to remember from your head. But it is good when you play it with your new legendary 2 mana 2/2 Clutch Mother Zavas. Whenever you discard this, give it 2/2 and return it to your hand. So in the new discolock, you would have to pray for this card to always be discarded. So you can play a 6/6 or an 8/8, but when this card is not discarded, you will cry. But it's still very powerful. It's just like a reverse Van Cleef, where in Van Cleef's case you need to play cards, but this you have to discard it. And it gives you a very good tempo swing when you get this. So it's kind of very high dependent on RNG, but when you manage to do that, you will be very, very happy. And when not, well, that's the game. But still, this and Licari and the quest, we will have to see if these 3 cards are managed or are intended to play together. Until then, these are very good cards. For Warrior, we have a 2 mana spell, Explore Ungoro. Replace your deck with copies of Discover a card. So if you play a bad deck, you could play this card and replace your deck with Discover a card, and just like Raven Idol, you can choose a spell or a minion. And you could get a lot of brawls, you could get a lot of spells from Warrior, or you could get a lot of minions, but you could get even legendaries or anything else. This is compared to Renounced Darkness, and it will have some highlights for a very funny deck, or a very good for control maybe, because Elise is rotating out. And it says replace your deck, not your entire and your hand. So you could play this if you don't have an answer and you want to, I don't know, you have only 10 cards in your deck, you play Explore Ungoro, and then you just put your faith in your luck and discover maybe Brawl when your opponent has a lot of minions, or you discover a minion and you discover a very powerful taunt like Sogot, or maybe your warrior legendaries like Gromash, Gromash Hellscream, or anything else. It will be seen if this card is very good for competitive, but I think it's a very good card to have a little bit of fun. Okay, now we go into the neutral cards of this expansion, with the first one being Primal Fiend. 3 mana, 3/2, Battlecry. If you control another Murloc, discover a Murloc. This is just like Gorilla Bot, when you could discover a mechanical minion, mech, but you can discover a Murloc. But there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of free drops with the Murloc tag on it. Would you play this instead of other free drop Murlocs? I don't know, but you could get this from Megafin or Giant Fin, Megafin, Giant Fin from your Shaman quest, or you could play it in a control aggro deck. I don't know, but it's a very good mechanic. You could discover more war leaders, but in Paladin anything can happen is rotating out, so this is not very good. Even though you could play a lot of war leaders, the probability of getting Primal Fin for your combo is very high, so your combo would not be very good. But this is a very good card for a Murloc deck. The next card is Tar Creeper. 3 mana, 1/5, taunt, has 2 attack during your opponent's turn. So this is the answer for aggro decks. On your turn is just 1/5, on your opponent's turn is a 3/5. So they have to kill their charge minions in this one. But they could use, I'm just giving an example, Croncard Elite. For warrior, that's a 4/3. No, it will destroy it. They could use their weapon and kill it very fast if the weapon is very big, but it's still a very good card to stop aggro decks a little bit. Not forever for killing them and not be played at all in Hearthstone, but this card can slow down the aggro matchups. It's still very good, and it has a very unique mechanic. I hope Blizzard makes more cards like this. The next card is Firefly. 1 mana, 1/2, Battlecry, add 1/2 elemental to your hand. Flame elemental is just right here. It's a very cute concept, and it helps you boost your other elementals. So you could, for example, keep your 1/2 elemental in hand for summoning it on turn 6, and on turn 7 you could play your Earth Sentinel from the Shaman card that we saw, or the other elementals that have the synergy. It's still a very good card for a 1-drop for your elemental decks, and I could see this play in the discolock, because you can get a lot of cards that you could discard if the discard mechanic discards this card. But until then, we have to see what other elementals we will get. The next card is Golakka Crawler. A 2 mana 2/3, Battlecry, destroy a pirate and gain +1/+1. So this is the answer for the pirate warrior meta that we had until now. But a lot of people say that this card could be used in Pirate Warrior to get a big swing. I don't know. And have you seen a pattern? The Paladin cards are made to counter Jade, as it seems, and Golakka Crawler is a beast. And this is to counter Pirate Warriors. So they want to make Paladin counter Jade and the Hunter to counter the Pirates. With this, you could play this. It's not very bad. Even if you don't play against a Pirate Warrior, it's still a very good minion. It's a 2/3 minion with good stats. But we will have to see if this can stop a Pirate Warrior with the Tar Creeper. Until then, the next card is Tolvir Stone Shaper. 4 mana, 3/5, Battlecry. If you played an elemental last turn, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. So this is Senjin Shieldmaster with Divine Shield, but only if you played an elemental. This is a very good card. it stops aggro, it helps you with your elemental deck or any other deck, but you need to play an elemental before you play this card. If you play this without playing an elemental on your other turn, it's just a free 5. It's not very good. You need the Taunt and the Divine Shield. This completely shuts aggro for, I don't know, 2 or 3 swings. But it's a very good card. I will see this in a lot of elemental decks. And it will see maybe in other decks like, I don't know, the only classes that play elementals, it seems, is Mage and Shaman. Until then we have to see if the other classes get at least one elemental. Well, the next card is a legendary one, Ozrok, 9 mana, 5/5, Taunt, Battle Cry, gain 5 health for each elemental you played last turn. So Blizzard said this card could be a 5 attack and 30 health. But the problem with this card is it's not like Sogot. It can be polymorphed, it can be hexed, it can be no, just polymorphed and hexed or any other spells. This is a very good card, but you have to commit it when you play this. And if you, I don't know, on turn 9 play this card and it has 15 health and your opponent manages to kill it, you just lost a turn just by playing one card. This card needs to be played when your opponent doesn't have an answer to it. But I could see this in a priest that has Inner Fire. Imagine you could play this, it has 15 or 20 health, Inner Fire, OTK priest. But it's still a very good card and interesting, but it has to be seen if a 9 mana card this big will see play. And the last card is another legendary one, Elise the Trailblazer, 5 mana, 5/5, Battle Cry, shuffle a seal of Ungoro pack into your deck. So what's an Ungoro pack? You will see here it adds it's a 2 mana that will give you 5 random cards from the Ungoro expansion. And they said that the probability of getting an epic is very high. You can get an epic, but you can get even 2 legendaries from your pack or anything else. So this is very good for control, not aggro, not tempo, for control versus control meta, because it gives you for 2 mana 5 cards that is not from your deck, and it gives you cards from this expansion. So in perspective it's a very good card, but it depends on what cards will you get from that pack. If you get good cards, then it's perfect, but it gives you fuel to still play and not draw your whole deck and answers for anything else. And with that said, this is the last card from this review. I will do the other cards when they come out. Until then, please leave in the comments what is your favorite card, or what kind of cards will you want to see in future expansions or from Journey to Ungoro. Until then, don't forget to have fun, and I will see you in the next one. See ya! As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment and a like. And if you want to see more or help the channel grow, you can subscribe to AmigoGP. Until then, don't forget to have fun, and I will see you in the next one. See ya!